Hello and welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. My name is Rory Graham and I'm your host, and today we have the pleasure of having with us Tom Kinnane from the Ozone Works. Cool name, the Ozone Works.
Thank you. Not sure who thought of that. I had help.
You did? Okay. Well, why don't you tell us, give us an overview of what is the Ozone Works, because it's actually a very fascinating technology.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me today. The Ozone Works is designed and intended to bring the power of ozone for different applications in different industries, industries like assisted living and healthcare, hospitality, corrections, athletic programs, into applications like swimming pools and spas, on-premise laundries, cooling towers, beverage production to sanitize vats and barrels and production facilities, groceries. Everybody's familiar with the water that they spray over the produce in a grocery store. You can do that with ozone and have a completely natural residual-free product, unlike the chlorine that they're spraying all over your fruits and vegetables now. So most people aren't aware of what ozone can do and how beneficial it is, and that's what the Ozone Works is about. We're new, but that said, we benefit from the experience of being a Hague Quality Water of Maryland company. I've worked for Hague, and we're able to leverage Hague's 20 plus years in water improvement and water efficiency in what we do. And we also have the benefit of having joined forces with Clearwater Tech LLC out of California, which has more than 30 years in working with different ozone applications. So while the Ozone Works itself hasn't been around that long, we're able to leverage decades of experience to talk about ozone.
Well, I know that we've had a chance to talk several times about the power of ozone and how you might use it, and it's used a little differently in some of those different applications that you mentioned between cooling towers and swimming pools and laundries and all of that. Let's take a look at one that I found really fascinating, was the use in laundry, and I know that that this would appeal to hospitality, places like the hotels, motels, but also assisted living, like you said, the corrections and things like that. So can you explain how the using ozone actually can not only benefit them with their product, but it can also be a cost savings to the user?
Yeah. The product that we use in on-premise laundries, commercial and industrial laundry, is called Ecotex. Oh. And Ecotex is unlike any other product I've ever been involved with. Even among ozone applications, Ecotex is different. There are a lot of benefits that I can bring to you, for instance, for your swimming pools and your beverage production facilities, etc. But Ecotex not only brings the benefits of ozone, but creates enormous savings. In fact, Ecotex ends up being free to almost all of our clients because the savings that it's able to create exceed what it costs to have the product. And generally speaking, I can walk into any facility and I can simply ask, is there anything else you've ever bought that will be so beneficial and yet have no impact on your bottom line? In fact, our impact is positive. We can take a laundry room and turn it into a net revenue producer rather than just flat out overhead, kind of a necessary evil. People expect their laundry to be clean, their sheets and towels and things like that, particularly in hotels, and that costs money. But now with Ecotex, we've found a way to kind of turn that model on its head and actually create revenue flow while delivering a significant amount of benefits to each facility.
So this allows the facility to actually maybe get something else they've been wanting to get because they've the savings that Ecotex could give them.
Absolutely. One of the first questions I'll ask a manager, a general manager, a chief engineer, an executive housekeeper when we meet is there something you've wanted to do here in the hotel that maybe you haven't had the money for, you've had to put off for a little while, defer into the future, until you had a little extra cash laying around. And with Ecotex, I can start producing the money to help pay for that project the minute you plug it in and turn on your washer. So it's really different than anything else most of our clients have experience with in their facility.
I know some people watching this might say, well, that sounds good, that could save money, but what about the performance of the product? Is it going to give me as good a laundry output as I have now?
Yeah, and you can't, in situations, you know, in a hotel, when I stay in a hotel, part of my experience is how nice do the towels look hanging on the rack, how nice do the sheets feel, how does everything smell, how soft does everything feel. And I think when people go away and they spend money to stay in a hotel, that they have that expectation, that they're entitled to that expectation. So we can't expect for you to want to just save money and then reduce that experience.
Right.
So what Ozone does, one of the benefits of Ozone is that we're going to give you cleaner, longer lasting, brighter, hygienically cleaner linen for your rooms. Now, if you're in an assisted living facility, for example, you not only get that same benefit of the cleaner, longer lasting linens, but the disinfection properties of Ozone are so significant that they're really unmatched by anything else you can create. Ozone can do in cold water in about 2.5 minutes, which it takes more than 15 minutes of contact time for chlorine to do in nearly 170 degree water. And most facilities don't even have 170 degree water. So, you know, in different facilities and different applications, we're able not just to save money, but to give you a much better product from a cleanliness standpoint and a disinfection standpoint.
Right. Okay. Now, one more thing about the money before we leave that. It saves money, and I don't think we actually said how it saves money, but the savings is generated, makes a lot of sense how it's generated. You want to talk about that?
Sure. We generate a great deal of savings from a variety of different cost producers. So the first one that people notice the most is we're able to change from washing in traditional hot water laundry formulas to almost all cold water. So in most commercial laundries, you'll find the ratio of hot to cold water in the washer is probably 75 or 80% hot water and 20-25% cold water. So most of what you're doing is hot water. We're able to invert that, and we can get most of our clients to very nearly 80% cold water and only 20 to 30% hot water, depending on the type of laundry that they're doing.
So you don't have to heat that.
Exactly. So you're not heating that water. So everybody understands that if I'm not heating the water, I'm not paying the gas bill to heat the water, and there's enormous savings associated with that everybody can understand. We're also, through the way we change the laundry formulas to work with Ozone, we're able to reduce some of the rinse cycles that are involved. That cuts back on total water consumed as well as total water discharged. You get billed for both. And in some places where we work, if you can put cleaner effluent into the sewer, the municipality or the county or whatever the political subdivision happens to be will actually give you credits back for discharging cleaner water. So we're cutting back on your water bill. If we're cutting back on rinse cycles, we're not running your washers as long. Typically with Ecotex, we're able to reduce the load time 8 to 10 minutes. So where you might only be doing 1.2 loads an hour right now to get your laundry done, we can enable you to get 1.6, 1.8 loads per hour done. So your washers are running a shorter period of time, you're using less electricity, but you also are gaining a labor efficiency component. If I can do more laundry in the same amount of time, or if I can do all the laundry I have in a shorter period of time, then I can trim shifts, I can reassign housekeeping to do other tasks in the hotel, because there's always things that need to be done. In an assisted living facility, there are always things that need to be done. So if I can create additional time at the end of the day to make those things happen, I'm getting way ahead of the game. So those are some of the cost savings categories that we're able to leverage to produce, typically for a facility, somewhere around 37% reduction in costs.
Wow. All right, and this system doesn't take a lot of room.
No,
correct?
does not take a lot of room at all. These laundry rooms are typically very cramped. They got a lot of equipment in them. They either have folding tables or folders, and you have 2 or 3 people, and you have storage racks for all this linen. So there's not a lot of space. Being aware of that, the manufacturer has made it into, usually, depending on your equipment configuration in your laundry room and how many washers you have, you end up with an air prep system called an oxygen concentrator that cleans the air and delivers 93 to 97% pure oxygen to an ozone generator. The ozone generator electrically creates ozone out of oxygen. You've got these 2 boxes. The oxygen concentrator is kind of a cube about this big, and the ozone generator is about that high and about that deep, about that wide. And they both hang on the wall, up out of the way, so nothing to worry about. We don't do any replumbing. Our ozone feed lines can be installed in every washer we've come in contact with. We don't have to worry about water supplies or anything else. So it's real simple. They're almost plug and play, except for the part of getting into the washer, and we have trained technicians to do that.
Okay, so let's say someone's listening to this and they say, wow, that sounds really good. I can get a positive cash flow from my laundry room.
Not bad.
Improved laundry. So I have extra money for other things. So there's no downside to it. So if they're going to want to get started with this, or they think they might want to get started with this, what are the steps involved?
Well, this is the best part of the whole program. Every time a vendor or potential vendor walks into a facility, he has the best product and it's going to change everybody's lives. Every general manager, every facility manager has heard this, and that's just kind of the nature of life. So the way Ecotex works and the simplicity of the installation allows us to let our clients try it first. And if you don't see the benefits of Ecotex, then we'll take our toys and go home. But we'll be able to tell you at the end of your trial period, which is typically about a month, how much water you used, how much hot water you used, how much cold water you used, that ratio. We'll be able to show you how that ratio between hot and cold water consumption flips when we install Ecotex.
With real world numbers.
Oh, absolutely.
These are their numbers.
Yes, this isn't, we have a calculator that the manufacturer developed over years of experience in the industry, but everybody likes it better if they see what really is happening here, and we give them that. A lot of times they aren't even aware of how much they were spending on water or how many gallons of water they consume, because it can be an amazing amount depending on how much laundry you're doing. So we set a baseline, and then we install Ecotex after we've established a baseline for water consumption. We install Ecotex, we make the formula changes, and then for a couple of weeks you get to experience that. And I can tell you that from the very first time you open the door of the washer after running an ozone load, you'll be able to tell the difference. And your sheets and towels will become whiter, they will become softer. The new linens that you buy to replace your old stock will stay whiter and softer longer. It's truly amazing. And it's almost the biggest drawback. It's really the only drawback on my product is people think it's too good to be true. So we want you to try it yourself. You tell us what benefits you experience. We'll be able to show you, sometimes during our trials, we can even show you on your actual gas bill the difference in how much gas you use to heat water with Ecotex versus when you didn't have Ecotex.
And this trial is free.
Oh, absolutely. There's no risk whatsoever.
Right. So,
if I would expect, as anyone would expect, if I do what I said, that you'd want to be one of our clients. But at no time are you under an obligation. You're not required to sign anything. There's no upfront money. There's no investment whatsoever on your part.
So no cash.
It is no cash. It is truly risk-free, obligation-free. If we didn't know it worked as well as it works, we wouldn't be able to do it. But we're confident.
Right. Okay, so the product is Ecotex.
It is.
Okay, and it's from the Ozone Works. All right, so let's just move on here to another one that I found very interesting, which is your swimming pool application for ozone. And that kind of works in conjunction with chlorine or is used a lot with chlorine?
Yeah, the using ozone in pools is a little different than using ozone in the laundry. We don't have a significant cash flow impact like we do with Ecotex, but the qualitative impact is really significant. We like to say that swimming in an ozonated pool is like swimming in bottled water. We're able, through the use of ozone, to eliminate the disinfection byproducts that are caused when things like chlorine come into contact with contaminants in the pool. By using ozone to eliminate those contaminants before they get to the chlorine, we're able to eliminate things like that heavy chlorinated odor that you smell around the pool.
That's a reaction.
Yes, it's a reaction.
So there's nothing to react
There's
with.
nothing
so
to
you get
react
the
with.
smell.
Exactly. So you don't get that horrible odor, particularly a lot of times in a small property you'll walk in, you immediately know that they have an indoor pool because you smell it.
Yeah.
That's gone. You don't have the eye irritation, the red eyes that you always see people getting out of the pool with. You don't have the itchy skin that some people suffer from. So an ozonated pool is a much better swimming experience. Whether it's a pool or a hot tub spa type thing, we can use an ozone system. It doesn't have to be a new pool or a new spa. We're able to retrofit, use in your equipment room. We're able to set our stuff up. So it's not something that you can't do now, even if you've had your pool for a number of years.
Okay, and so the procedure for them to ask you about that is the same, is to contact you?
Well, in both cases, whether you're interested in Ecotex or the Apex pool systems, I would go to our website, theozoneworks.com. In both of those cases, you'll be able to actually fill out a form and submit it to us and get a proposal of costs and savings and other benefits. We have a variety of frequently asked questions that we answer online for you, and of course we have our toll-free number, 844-816-2812. I should probably know that.
That's okay, it'll be at the end of the video anyway.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. So is there any other application that you wanted to talk about? Because you have quite a few that, you know.
Well, we could probably spend a whole lot of time doing
that's
this.
what I'm asking.
But you can use ozone in cooling towers. Usually the only thing people know about cooling towers is that you can breed Legionella in cooling towers. Legionella is Legionnaire's disease. So that can be, that actually can be fatal. We can assist with that in a kind of a chemical-free disinfection process. We can do that, a chemical-free disinfection process in the beverage industry, wineries, distilleries, breweries. You don't have to use caustic chemicals to clean out your vats and barrels and things of that nature. You can wash down production areas, and you're not leaving any sort of chemical residue because the ozonated water that you're using, just the ozone dissipates back into oxygen with no harmful effects.
So it's a green product.
Oh, it's an extremely green product, yeah. Anytime you're eliminating the chemicals, and then when you get back to Ecotex, you're reducing energy consumption, water consumption, chemical consumption. As a green product goes, it's just about as good as it gets.
So no reason not to call you.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to?
No, I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay.
Ecotex is new to the East Coast. A lot of cool things started in California. We're making your way over here. If people wonder why somebody doesn't have it in their area, we have references that we can provide. And of course, like I said, we're going to let you try it. So you're going to know for yourself. So we hope you'll call us.
Well, it's risk-free. Why not, right?
Why not?
Okay. All right. So if you have a facility that could benefit from the power of ozone, you may want to certainly give Tom a call or check out the website and schedule your free trial. I thank you for coming in, and I wish you and the Ozone Works a great deal of success.
Thank you very much, Rory.
Thank you.